Do dum dee dee, dum dee dum dee dee, dum dee 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 dum, a dee 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 doo, a da 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 dee. Mr. Cameron's song, a doopy doopy dee, a da ba da ba doo, a dee be dee be dee, a dee 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 doopy. Oh, hello there. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. It's now 1 minute past 1 o'clock on Friday, the 15th of July 2016. Can you believe we are halfway through 2016 already? I can't believe it. Welcome to English Live. This is the first ever one, the first ever time that I've done something live across the World Wide Web. Unless, of course, you caught me last week doing it. But that was just a test. This is the real thing today. So welcome. This is a very strange feeling, I must admit. I was very nervous this morning. I had to go outside and stand in my front garden and watch the birds for 20 minutes, taking in big, deep breaths of air. So there you go. I hope you can hear me all right. I hope everything is coming through loud and clear. You may notice a few things. First of all, in the studio, you will see, first of all, the clock up there. Can you see? It says 2 minutes past 1, just to prove that I'm really live. It is absolutely live as live can be. I am now live on the internet. Yesterday I did some test transmissions over the internet and 1 or 2 people said, Mr. Duncan, you're not really streaming live, you're cheating. Well, I can tell you now that this is not cheating. This is absolutely as live can be at 2 minutes past 1. And of course 2 minutes past the hour, depending on where you are watching in the world. So my studio, as you can see, is a little different. There are no curtains behind me. You can see over there in the corner my little globe shining away. Also just behind me here you can see something here. It says hello to. Now I'm planning to do something special today. I'm going to put somebody's name right there. It might be your name. That coming a little bit later on. You will notice also there are no live chats at the moment. I will be opening the live chats in around about 25 minutes at around about half past 1. So we will have some live chat coming later. If you have a question for me, keep it nice and light though. I don't want to get too involved with the academic side of things. So we won't be talking too deeply about any English subjects. It's something nice and breezy, just as a way of allowing you to practice your English listening and also ask me some questions as well, just in case there is a burning topic that you wish to talk about. Also today I'm going to talk about something that I was asked about last week. I was asked, Mr. Duncan, could you talk about the IELTS test? Now I must admit that is quite an interesting subject, because for those wishing to come and live in Britain, you must take an IELTS test. That is very important. And you need the IELTS test so you can study here and also to allow you to live here as well. It's also worth mentioning that the IELTS certificate is also welcomed in other countries as well, including the United States. There are currently over 3,000 institutions currently in the United States who accept the IELTS certificate as well. So we will be talking a little bit about the English language testing system, or to be more precise, the IELTS test. And also, what else are we doing today? Let's have a look. Oh, I know. Something fun to throw in for the next 2 hours. Yes, I'm with you for 2 hours. Can you believe it? I can't. We also have our mystery object, something that I'm going to show to you, and you have to guess what it is. I have it in my hand now. Do you want to have a look at it? Do you want to have a look at my mystery object? This is something that I'm going to show you throughout the broadcast today, and I want you to guess what it is. Okay, here it comes. That's part of it. Oh my goodness. What on earth is that? What on earth is it? Goodness me. It's very strange looking. It's made of plastic, and as you can see, it's very long, and it has a strange hole at the end. In fact, you could describe it as a sort of tube with a handle on it. What could this be? If you think you know what this is, why don't you send me a message later when I open the live chat? So if you think you know what this object is, it's very unusual. I must admit, the first time I saw it, I had no idea what its purpose was. But now I do know, and it makes perfect sense. So I will show you this again later. There it is, my mystery object. If you think you know what this is, let me know. What a curious thing. And as I said, if you want your name here on the door behind me, you can have your name written here later on in the broadcast as well. Okay, it's 7 minutes past 1 o'clock. Let's get on with our first topic for today, which is all about the International English Language Testing System, or as I like to call it, IELTS, because it's much easier to say. So the language testing system is generally for those wishing to live in a certain country. Of course, there are other ones as well. There's TOEFL and also TOEIC as well. But IELTS is the one I'm going to talk about today. The IELTS exam is something you need to pass so as to be able to live in certain countries. There are grades given for each part of the test, and then there is an overall score, which is called a band. So first of all, let's take a quick look at what the IELTS test is all about. Okay, here's the IELTS test. This is courtesy of IELTS.org. There are two types of IELTS test. You can choose from IELTS Academic or IELTS General Training. So there are two types of IELTS test. The IELTS Academic is for people planning to study in higher education or seeking professional registration. It assesses whether you are ready to begin studying or training in an environment where English is the language used. So a good example would be the UK, where English is widely spoken. So that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? The IELTS Academic doesn't assume that test takers have already mastered or even partly have the range of skills they are likely to need at college or university. So you could look at it as a sort of assessment. It is assessing your level of English. For this reason, while the test reflects some of the features of academic language, it does not aim to simulate academic study tasks in their entirety. So in other words, it is just a guide. It is a guide as to how well you can speak English. So the IELTS Academic is for people who wish to study in another country. Then we have the IELTS General Training. IELTS general training focuses on basic survival skills. I love that word so much, survival skills. So when we talk about IELTS in general, we are talking about survival English, day-to-day English, in a social environment or, of course, in the workplace. It is typically for those who are going to English-speaking countries to do secondary education work, work experience, of course, or training programs. People migrating to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK must take the general training test. That's very important to mention again. The fact that you must take the test if you are planning to live in those countries, work or study. So in Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and of course the UK. And don't forget, the IELTS is also accepted now in the United States as well. Okay, let's move on. So what about the actual test itself? Well, just to make things more difficult, there are many parts to the actual test. You have listening, academic writing and reading, general training, and as I've already mentioned, academic writing, general training writing, and, oh dear, the worst of all, speaking. Yes, that is the one that everyone hates. Everyone hates the speaking part. So let's have a look at the listening. First of all, the listening part of the IELTS test takes around about 30 minutes, and the test consists of 4 recorded monologues and conversations. So we have monologues. A monologue is a person talking on their own. So you will listen to one person talking, and then afterwards you will listen to a conversation, or the other way round. The listening test is the same for both academic and general training tests. So in other words, if you are doing either, the listening is pretty much the same. So in the listening test, you will normally listen to something being said either by one person or between 2 or more people. And as that happens, you will be asked to answer some questions. That is the hardest part. So what they want to do is to check how well you can listen, which seems like an easy thing, but it isn't. It isn't as easy as it seems. So the listening part of the IELTS test takes around 30 minutes, and they want to know how well you can pick up words within sentences. So you will listen to somebody speaking on their own or in a conversation, and you will be asked questions about it. That is it. Academic reading. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. You are going to be reading. A variety of questions is used, chosen from the following types. You have multiple choice, so you'll be asked a question and the right answer will be contained within a list of answers. So in other words, multiple choice means there is a correct answer hidden within the choices you are given. Identifying information. You have to identify a writer's views or claims. So you will read something, and then from that you will have to say what the writer was trying to put across. Now we look at things like matching information and matching headings, matching features, matching sentence endings. So you have to match things up. You will be asked to refer to part of what you have read. Sentence completion, of course, you will be given sentences to complete. So you'll get part of a sentence with maybe 1 or 2 words missing, and you will have to fill the gaps or complete the sentence. Summary completion. Summary completion means to summarize something that you have read. Note completion. Again, it's fairly self-explanatory. Table completion. You will look at a list of things written in the form of a table, and you may have to fill in the spaces that have been left. For people that are looking for something more business-like, they need also to know how to decipher a flow chart. So you might be asked to complete a flow chart to show the change or advance of something. Then there is diagram label completion. So you might have something that is shown to you in the form of a diagram or a picture, and you must complete the labels. You must, in other words, write down and also read and write down what you see. And of course, short answer questions. They are my favourite because I hate giving longer answers. I only like short answers to questions. But that doesn't mean that you can only answer yes or no. You can't just say yes or no. You still have to give an answer using words, but the answer in question will be just a short one. Okay, we move on to general training reading. This takes place over 60 minutes. A variety of questions are used, chosen from the following types. Again, very similar to the academic reading. You have multiple choice. You have to identify information, identifying the writer's views and claims. Very similar, actually, to the reading one. So general training is slightly more varied, as the word general sort of indicates there. So the questions will be varied. But again, you will have a similar sort of requirement, which will be to answer questions and also match information and also complete a summary. This is very complicated. You are probably already thinking, Mr. Duncan, there is no way I can do this. Don't worry, the overall test takes around 2 hours 45 minutes, so don't worry, you have quite a lot of time. An hour is actually quite a long time when you think about it. Another one now, if you are not good at writing, if you need to improve your grammar, then maybe this one will be the part that you need to brush up. Academic writing. The duration is 60 minutes. It has 2 writing tasks of 150 words and 250 words. In task 1, candidates are asked to describe some visual information, maybe a graph, a table, chart, or a diagram, and to present the description in their own words, in the form of writing, of course. They need to write 150 words in about 20 minutes. That is not too difficult. You could easily write 500 words in 20 minutes. So I think that is very generous. So 20 minutes to write 150 words, yeah, that's okay. That's not too bad. Just take it easy and don't panic. In task 2, the candidates are presented with a point of view or argument or problem. they need to write 250 words in about 40 minutes. Again, that's very generous. So 250 words, yeah, I think we can do that. So what you are doing there really is giving your own version of something in writing. I think that's the simplest way of putting it. Then we say, let us move on. Once again, a general part of the test, this time general training writing. Once again, we've got 60 minutes. And once again, you have a task of 150 words and 250 words. In task number 1, the candidates are asked to respond to a situation by writing a letter, for example. Requesting information. So maybe you are writing to someone to ask for information. Or, of course, explaining a situation. Again, this might be difficult for those whose writing skills are not great, which is why you must make sure that you have at least some level of writing skill. Just having a drink of water there, I hope you don't mind. Now, oh dear. This is the part of the IELTS test that everybody hates so much. In fact, if there is one thing that I receive questions about more than any other, it must be speaking in the IELTS test or the TOEFL or the TOEIC test. These are really, really, really difficult things to do for some people. Speaking out loud, possibly the hardest part of learning any language. It's all right writing things down. Mr. Duncan, I can write very easily. It's no problem. But when it comes to speaking, I have a lot of problems. So, in the speaking test, you have 11 to 14 minutes. So between 11 and 14 minutes. In the speaking test, you have a discussion with a certified examiner. So in other words, a person will sit down with you and they will talk. It sounds lovely, doesn't it? It is interactive and as close to a real-life situation as a test can get. So it really is putting you on the sharp end, so to speak. There are 3 parts to the test and each part fulfills a specific function in terms of interaction or interaction pattern, task input and candidate output. Put simply, it is how you speak in a general conversation, what you say to them and what they say to you. In part 1, you answer questions about yourself and your family. Now that should be okay. I'm sure many of you will be alright with that one. Where do you live? Who is in your family? Do you have any pets? Questions like that. In part 2, you speak about a topic. Now, what's interesting here is I think the topic is suggested to you. I've heard some people say that they had to bring some preparation for a topic, while others had to just speak about a topic that they were given. So forgive me there if I seem a bit doubtful as to what that actually is, but as far as I'm aware, certainly from from hearing from students is that the topic is given to you. But please don't quote me on that. In part 3, you have a longer discussion on the topic. So you have a chance, first of all, to speak about the topic, and then in part 3, you will have to discuss, possibly in the form of questions and answers. Of course, between tests that might vary. So sometimes that might happen and sometimes it might not. So be prepared. Remember, the speaking test is the same for both academic and general training tests. Each of the 3 parts are designed to test a different aspect of your communication ability. Put simply, they want to know if you can talk. They want to know if you can explain things, and they want to know if you can understand what is being asked. So the speaking part is one of the shortest parts of the test, but for most people taking the IELTS, it is the worst part of the test. So please don't forget that. The speaking test for many people is probably the hardest or the most daunting of all. If you want to find out more about the International English Language Testing System, or as they like to call it, IELTS, you can check out all the information, including the information I've given you today, at ielts.org. The test itself is now accepted in many countries. It's worth noting that it's accepted in Britain, of course, also in Australia, Canada, and it's worth mentioning also that there are now 3,000 universities now accept it in the United States, which I was very surprised. That seems to have changed a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. When I say universities, I actually mean academic institutions. So it can be sort of anything that has some sort of teaching and learning program. Let's have a look at the scoring before we move on, because a lot of people ask about the scoring. The IELTS score. Now, there isn't really a pass or a fail in the IELTS test. It's worth noting that. There isn't really a pass or a fail. What they do have is a sort of band list from, as you can see, 0 at the bottom to 9 at the top. I will very briefly go through these. So we have at the bottom 0. I don't think many people ever get 0. I don't think people ever score 0 on their IELTS test. I would be very surprised if they did. Let's have a look. So 0 is did not attempt the test at all. Would you really turn up for an exam and not take the test? I don't know anybody that would do that unless they were crazy. Then we have grade or band 1, which is non-user. Essentially has no ability to use the language beyond possibly a few isolated words. That sounds like me with my Chinese. When I lived in China, I was kind of I was probably a band 1 Chinese speaker. Then there's band 2, intermittent user. Again, this isn't good. This isn't very good if you get band 2. No real communication is possible except for the most basic information using isolated words or short formulae in familiar situations and to meet immediate needs. In other words, very basic. Maybe hello, goodbye, or there or here, up or down. Not much else. Then we have Band 3. Conveys and understands only general meaning in very familiar situations. Again, very similar really to Band 2. You're kind of sort of struggling. I think struggling would be a good word. Yes, you're definitely struggling. If you're in Band 3, you definitely struggle with your English. I think that's safe to say. Okay, Band 4, limited user. Again, not great. Basic competence is limited to familiar situations. Again, things that are basic and very simple to explain. This person has frequent problems in understanding and expression. So they won't be able to understand most of what is said to them. Again, not a great score. Then we have Band 5. This is where things start to look a little bit better. They start to look a little more positive, let's just say. So, a modest user has partial command of the language, coping with the overall meaning of most words in situations. It is likely that they will make many mistakes as they are speaking, but they should be able to handle basic communication in their own field. So things that they are very familiar with, a person in Band 5 should be able to deal with quite easily. Now we come to the best part. This is where things get a little bit more positive. If you are now sitting in Band 6, well, aren't you the lucky one? Band 6 means you are a competent user. This means that you have generally effective command of the language, despite some inaccuracies. But you can use the language to a degree. You are competent. I love that word, competent. If you ever hear someone say to you, you are very competent, that is a great word to have used towards you. That means you are able to do it. You have an ability. You're not great at it. You're not excellent, but you are competent. And don't forget, grade 6 or Band 6 is normally the lowest you can get for entry into most universities or even with employers. So 6 is the minimum that you are aiming for. Then we go to Band 7 to Band 7. Oh my gosh. Well, if you get a score of 7 in your IELTS, aren't you a clever clogs? Band 7 means that you are a good user. I need to choke to my water then. Excuse me. You are a good user. This person has operational command of the language, though with occasional inaccuracies. So sometimes you might make mistakes. So a good user can speak English, but they will still make the occasional mistake. Generally speaking, a person in Band 7 will handle complex languages and situations well. So if your English level is 7, you can handle complex language very well. And of course, you will be able to understand detailed reasoning, which I will come on to in a moment. I will talk about that in a moment, about using what we like to call cognitive English, which means thinking. So we now have band 8. Oh my goodness, if you are in band 8, well, need I say more? You are a very good user. This person has fully operational command of the language with only occasional mistakes. Unsystematic. I love that word. It's far too complex though. So I'm just going to say they can use English well. There will of course still be the occasional misunderstanding, especially in unfamiliar situations, but generally that person will handle complex, detailed argumentation very well. And we come to band 9. If you get band 9 in your English IELTS test, then you can probably come and do my job and I can go on holiday. So if you are in band 9, you have full operational command of the language. Appropriate, accurate and fluent, with complete understanding. I think that sums it up pretty well. Need I say more? Going back to the minimal band that you can score, it's 6. So the minimum that you can get without being asked to leave is 6. So anything above 6 is fine. No problem. So if you are a competent user, a good user, a very good user, expert user, you will do quite well. So you are aiming to score at least 6 or 7 in your IELTS test. Let me just go back to something I was talking about just now. When you are tested in your English speaking skills and writing skills, one of the things that you also need to get used to is thinking in English. It might sound strange, but you do need to have a good level of English in your brain as well. So let's come back to me. I'm sorry. There we go. So if you think in English, you will find that it's much easier to use English in your day-to-day life. It might sound strange. I always remember one of my students saying to me, Mr. Duncan, will it help my English if I dream in English? I must admit, I love that idea. I love the idea of dreaming in English. I think that's amazing. If you can think in English, you will find it much easier to do all the other things, including speaking and writing. So your cognitive English is what is being tested in the IELTS exam. The writing is just the result. The speaking is just the result. But really, you need to have the English up here as well, in your brain. When you are thinking, when you are listening, and perhaps when you are dreaming. So I hope that's been of some help. If you miss any of my live lessons, don't forget you can also catch up afterwards. You can have what YouTube like to call VOD, video on demand. So you can watch this live feed again once it has become available on my YouTube channel. If you are taking your IELTS or you are planning to start preparing for it, can I wish you the best of luck with your forthcoming exam. I suppose also it's worth mentioning the fact that we are currently having a very strange time here in England and in the UK in general, because over the last couple of weeks we've had some slight changes. One of the biggest changes, of course, being the vote to leave the European Union. This means that the UK will be going alone with their decisions. They won't be taking any advice, and they won't have to follow any of the rules that exist in Europe. Now, the reason why I mention this is because I'm not sure how this is going to affect the IELTS in the future. I have no idea at the moment. In fact, nobody does. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. So it might be worth keeping an eye and ear out. Keep listening and watching on the internet for the latest news on what is happening here in the UK, because I think the changes that will be coming over the next couple of years as the UK pulls out of Europe might have some effect on the way that the English tests are carried out. Just before the Brexit vote took place, some of the people who were protesting, who wanted to get out of Europe, were saying that they wanted to have a point system for people that wanted to come and live in England or in the UK. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there, whether the Brexit will have any effect on the IELTS test. At the moment, I think it won't, but who knows, because we are living in very strange times here in the UK. Okay, it is, goodness me, look at the time. It is 1:43. 1:43. And this is Mr. Duncan with his live English lesson on the World Wide Web. Don't forget you can catch me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Duncan in China. I have a feeling that you know that already, or else you would never have found this live feed. What on earth is this? What is it? Do you know what this is? Do you have any idea what this could be? What it could be used for? It's made of plastic. It's not very heavy. But what is it? If you think you know what it is, you will very shortly have a chance to tell me, because I am going to be opening the live chat. Ooh! This is my favourite bit. Also, if you would like to have your name on the wall behind me, you can see my little magic door there. There it is. Can you see it? Just behind me there. It says, hello to. Hello to. But hello to who? It might be you. In the next hour, I will be writing someone's name behind there. Not just that, but your name will also appear on the thumbnail for this lesson. So your name will be there forever. My gosh, I can't believe it. It is, of course, 2016, and what a year it has been. Hasn't it been a strange year? A lot of people are talking about 2016 as being one of the strangest years and one of the most dramatic years that we've had for some time, and we're only halfway through it. I feel as if 2016 has been has been going on for about the last 4 years because so many things have happened. Right, here we go. It is 1:45 and I am now going to go live with the chat. I hope you can hear this all right. This is my first ever live English lesson. If there are any problems with the technical side, please let me know. I hope you can see me all right. Do you like my camera? This is the new camera that I've set up so you can see me nice and clearly. And of course the sound quality, I hope that is all right as well. Right. Let's not waste any more time. Let's enable live chat, shall we? Here we go. We are now live to the world. Who is going to say hi first? Da, da, da. Just in case you've joined me a minute ago or 20 minutes ago and you're wondering what on earth is going on, well, this is my new live English stream which I'm going to be doing every single Friday. Not just today, but every single Friday. Okay, I'm now live on chat. I'm just waiting for the chats to start coming through on YouTube. It might take a while. If not, I will just go and sit in the corner and cry myself to sleep. So hello to the world, wherever you are watching. This is Mr. Duncan. Also, let me just check Facebook as well, because I do have lots of people following me on Facebook. Let's just check my Facebook. Let's see what's going on Facebook, shall we? Oh, I see. Oh, it's very active on Facebook at the moment. Oh, I see. Oh, Mr. Duncan. Let's have a look. Apparently it is 9:45 in Buenos Aires. Okay. Let's go back to the YouTube live. And nobody's writing. Come on, everybody. Where are you? Everybody was sending messages the other day. Now nobody's sending any. It doesn't matter. I can just sit here and drink my water. Watch this. See? Oh, that's better. So live chat is now open for anyone, anywhere in the world. Look, can you see it over there? There's the world over there. That's where we all are now, sharing that little blue dot in space. Did anybody see the Juno probe this week? The Juno probe, which has gone all the way to, I nearly said Saturn then. I always get Saturn and Jupiter mixed up. I don't know why. I always get Saturn and Jupiter confused. But of course Saturn has the rings and Jupiter is just big and it's got little lines all over it and the famous red spot. But they've sent a probe all the way to Jupiter. It's amazing. I can't believe it. We now have 49 people watching now. I have to say, suddenly I feel very nervous. Now I know that 49 people are watching. I have to be honest. I'm feeling a lot of stress now. Okay, let's have a look. If you are leaving messages for me on YouTube, please don't leave messages on Facebook. Don't leave messages on Facebook, please. Could you please leave them on the YouTube live chat, or else I have to keep flicking between the screens and it'll drive me crazy. Oh, I see, but chat isn't showing up. It should be showing up. Chat should be showing up. It's there. It's there. Chat should be showing up. Ah, dear. If it isn't, then I'm going to cry in the corner of the room. Okay, let's do it on Facebook then instead. Here we go. Facebook. Right. Let's have a look. What's happening on Facebook? Don't forget, by the way, facebook.com/mrduncan.uk is my address. And don't forget, could you please use, there it is, just there. Could you please use all capital letters? Because if you don't, you get another Duncan who lives in Bognor Regis. He lives in Bognor Regis and his name is Duncan, and he hates people writing to him. I don't know why he has a Facebook page, but that Duncan who lives in Bognor Regis, he hates people. Whereas this Mr. Duncan, who is all in capitals, loves people. That's the difference. Okay, let's have a look. YouTube. Okay, now apparently for some reason the live chat is not showing up. I don't know why. It should be. It should be. Let's just try something else. Here we go. I'm going to try something else just to see if I can get this started. If not, la la la. Okay, let's see if that works. The chat is definitely enabled now, so if you would like to join me, please do so. Meanwhile, on Facebook, can I say a special hello to Faizan Ramail, who wants a link to the YouTube channel. Just go to my YouTube channel, for goodness sake. It's there, playing live now, so don't worry. There it is. Yes, somebody has already left the link. Thank you very much to Ijaz Wihwak, who has left the link on my Facebook page. Thank you so much. Isn't that kind of you? So there it is. There's the link. It is now on my Facebook page. I will also copy and paste it at the top. So if you just give me a moment, I will copy and paste that right at the top of my Facebook page. So now there is no confusion. There it is. Okay. So now you should see the link to the live link. Yes, it is an active link. And the reason why it's active is because it's live, as live can be. Don't forget, if you would like to have your name on the door behind me here, there is a little space at the bottom. You are more than welcome to put your name there. Meanwhile, on YouTube, there appears to be no live chat. I'm very disappointed with that, because in the past you can activate the live chat at any time, but today it appears not to be doing it. There we go. I've saved the changes on my YouTube chat, so I've tried again, so hopefully that should work now. And everything was going so well. Meanwhile, on Facebook, let's see what's going on my Facebook page. Let's say some hellos now, shall we? Okay, we've got a few hellos to come. Anna, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, Anna, but Anna Yalangosian. Anna Yalangosian. Hello, Anna. A big hello to you. There you are. And also, Anzonic has joined me. Anzonic is here. There is obviously a problem with YouTube here, because people are writing on the page, but I can't see it. That's no good, is it? Thank you, YouTube. Thank you very much for that. I know people are going to say, Mr. Duncan, you're doing it wrong. I am doing it right. I know what I'm doing. So 49 people are now watching me. Thank you for joining me today for this very strange experience. So the chat is showing up, but I can't see it. The chat is working. People are writing, but I don't know why you can't see them. Okay, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to open my YouTube page and I'm going to go into it again, just in case. Oh dear. It was all going so well. Okay, we're there. We've got it. We now have live chat on the screen. Right. Oh dear. Right. Thank goodness for that. At 1:56, we finally get the chat working. Right. If you'd like to chat to me now on YouTube, the chat page is open. Okay, Anzonic, who is at the top of the page, says, "Hi, I am present in all your tests and your live streaming. About the question." Oh, the question. What is this? What on earth is this? Do you know what it is? Isn't it strange? Anzonic says, "Is it..." Anzonic says, "Is it a lightsaber from Star Wars?" No, it is not a lightsaber. It isn't a lightsaber. It looks like a lightsaber. Actually, yes. Yes. Zoom, 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 zoom. I am your father. It's not a lightsaber. So you can cross that off the list. It's definitely not a lightsaber. Aero V41 says, "Hi." Hi, Aero V41. Hello there. Lucia or Lucia. It's one of those. Lucia or Lucia. Hello there. JR Star. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, JR Star. Aero V41 says, "It's a lightsaber." It isn't a lightsaber. It's something else. There it is. Can you see it properly? Okay, I'm going to hold it still now for you. Can you see it? There it is. There it is. Can you see? It is not a lightsaber. So cross that off. Amanda Regina or Amanda Regina. Hi, Mr. Duncan. Hi, Amanda. Abdul Al Fatah says, "Hello, Mr. Duncan," with lots of applause. Thank you for the applause there. Oh, I'm so flattered. Amina Mora. Amina Mora, hello from Algeria. Live from Algeria and live from England. Renee. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, Renee, but I'm not going to try and pronounce your second name. Renee Sheraprava Dumrongshu. Renee. I'll just call you Renee. Is that okay? Bonjour. I can't wait to hear and learn from you today. Oh, okay. You are welcome, Renee. Duk Duong Bui. I hope I pronounced that right. Hello again. Hello, Duok. Suhab Noor says hello as well. A big hello to Suhab Noor. Mrs. Light. Hello, Mrs. Light. Says hello from Poland. A big hello to Poland. Hi there. Abdul Al Fatah says, we are writing, Mr. Duncan. I know, I'm sorry. I think there was a problem at my end. Maybe I didn't refresh the page. Maybe it's my fault. It's very embarrassing. Anyway, the chat is working now and everything is all right. That's it. JR Star says, we are here, Mr. Duncan. Refresh your window chat. I have. It was my fault. Yeah. Gustav A. Fernandez says, hello, Mr. Duncan from Spain. I am a new follower of you. Gustavo. Hello, Gustavo. And a big hello to you in Spain. We have Leah Avila now. Leah Avila, who has joined me. Zoom, 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 zoom. It's not a lightsaber. It isn't. Leah Avila. Leah Avila. I hope I pronounced your name right. Thank you for doing these wonderful videos. You are truly amazing and your accent is lovely. I like your new mic. Oh yes, this is the new microphone I bought during the week. I've had a crazy week. I can't tell you how crazy my week has been. Trying to get this equipment all working. And this morning, oh my goodness. Do you want to know what happened this morning? This morning, I tried to print something out. Now, don't get me wrong. I love technology. I love it so much. But this morning, the printer would not work. And I didn't know why. It just kept saying error, error, error. Eventually, I did sort it out after finding out that the printer ink was used up. It took me a while to work out that the printer had run out of ink. There was no ink left. But sometimes, do you know what I wanted to do this morning? I wanted to take that printer and I wanted to take it into my back garden. I wanted to put it down and I wanted to smash it to pieces. Could you imagine me doing that? Maybe next week. Maybe in next week's live stream I could smash my printer to pieces. It has nothing to do with English, but at least it makes me feel better. Some more hellos. Oh, hi from Abdul Manan. Abdul Manan, hello there. Also we have, let's have a look what we got here. We have Nazgul or Nazul Mary Sheno or Shino. Nazul Mary Shino, hello to you. Abdul Al Fatah says, what's happening, Mr. Duncan? You can't see our comments. I can now. I can see your comments now and they're lovely. Sonia Schmatt, I hope I pronounced that right. Sonia says hi as well. Nuria Rincon says Keter Jordan. Did I say that right? Nuria Rincon says Cabroon. Cabroon, is that where you are? Or is it a greeting? I hope it's a greeting. I hope it's nothing rude. Another comment now, writing in Arabic. I can't read Arabic, unfortunately. Lovely to see you, best friend. Everyone is welcome and everyone is my friend. If you are a lovely person, if you are a nice human being on this planet, then you are already my friend. Carlos Roberto Chiquera. Carlos is watching right now live in Brazil. Yes, it's true. I'm live. I'm live on the internet. Can you see here? Look, it's live. Look, there it is. Just there. 2 minutes past 2. So it is live, definitely. Leah Avila says, "Oe, oe, oe." Is that like ole? Rash LA or Rash L says, hello, how's it going? It's going okay. We had a couple of problems just now. Besides that, I'm feeling super duper and hunky dory. Leah asks, how is Mr. Lomax doing on the Year of the Monkey? Oh, Mr. Lomax has been driving me crazy this year. I remember at the beginning of the year in January, Mr. Lomax kept saying, hey, Mr. Duncan, guess what? It's my year. 2016 is my year. So yes, Mr. Lomax is very happy that this is monkey year. If you remember, we made a lesson together. Do you remember the lesson we made together? We actually did a little lesson together, me and Mr. Lomax, talking about the year of the monkey. Even though Mr. Lomax really isn't a monkey, he's an ape. But Mr. Lomax is very stubborn and sometimes a little annoying. The other week he shouted at me. Did anybody see the breakfast time that I had with Mr. Lomax? Mr. Lomax started shouting at me because he said that I made my porridge too weak. He said my porridge was too milky. And then he said that I eat my porridge in a noisy way. He said, Mr. Duncan, you eat your porridge in such a noisy way. It's very annoying. So sometimes Mr. Lomax gets on my nerves. Do you know anyone that gets on your nerves? Does anybody annoy you in your life? Please tell me so I can shame them here. No, don't do that. Some Russian here. Sonia Schmat has written in Russian. I think that's Russian. It looks like Russian. Unfortunately, I don't speak Russian or read Russian. Amri Wadi or Amri Wadi. Amri Wadi. Well, I am taking an IELTS course on Future Learn Now. What a coincidence. Thanks a lot for the great information about it. Amri Wadi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Good luck with your forthcoming IELTS test. So you're now taking the course and later on you will be doing the test. Oh dear me. When you take the test, think of me smiling at you, wishing you on. So all the best of luck there for your forthcoming IELTS test. And of course anybody else who is taking their English exam test later this year, or maybe today or maybe tomorrow. Good luck. Amina Mora says hello from Algeria. A big hello to Algeria. Lisa Avila says hola. Hola. I don't think you pronounce the H though, do you? I think it's more like Ola. Ola. Hello. I think we're up to we're almost up to date now. We have Atelu 1. Atelu 1 says hello everybody. Alicio Matira says you have a nice studio. Do you like my studio? Sometimes it's very messy. A couple of weeks ago, this studio was so messy. There was rubbish everywhere. So I spent a whole day clearing this whole studio out. I moved everything out of here and I cleaned it from top to bottom. It was a sort of late spring clean. You don't normally spring clean in summer. You normally spring clean in spring. Hello teacher says why Nijuan. I always have a problem with that part of the word Nguyen. Is that how you pronounce it? Nguyen. Y Nguyen, who is, I believe, watching in Vietnam. Then we have Mark. I think that's Mark. I want to say Mark. Watching in the Russian Crimea. Hello, Mark. I think that's what it says there, because part of it's in Russian. And my Russian isn't very good, I'm sorry. I can say privet. Privet. Hello, teacher. Hello, Mr. Duncan says Kermitia. Kermitia says hello, Mr. Duncan. Kermitia says you are the best, although it says here you are the bet. I think it means you are the best. You are the best. That's it. Thank you, Kermita. Right, I have to do a bit of catching up here because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of messages. So sorry if I miss your messages, but there are so many people here. We have Chang Man Lee. Chang Man Lee, who is watching in South Korea. Hello, South Korea. A big hello to you. Tarek says he's super duper best. Do you mean me? Thank you very much. I'm very flattered. Joaquin Ruiz Gomez. Okay. Please restart your YouTube, Mr. Duncan. Right, back to the mystery item. English Food Club. Hello to English Food Club. English Food Club says, Mr. Duncan, it's a sword. No, it isn't a sword. I'm sorry about that, Faye, but it isn't a sword. Hi from Russia. I think I have quite a few people watching in Russia now. So a big privet to Russia. Kermita says you are a very innovative teacher. Innovative. That means new, unusual, exciting, different. Something different that will change the world is innovative. Leah Avila says you are a wonderful teacher. Marcelo. Oh, I see, yes. Marcelo. Marcelo says you pronounce my name like Mars the planet. A big hi from Marcelo, who is watching in Argentina. Hello, Argentina. Ali Hussein says stay happy, healthy and live longer, Mr. Duncan. You know what? I love being alive. I don't know why. It feels really nice. When I wake up in the morning, every morning I open my eyes and I say, oh, this is nice. Every morning. You should try it. Tomorrow morning when you wake up tomorrow morning, open your eyes and go, oh, this is nice. Alina or Elena Brito says, Mr. Duncan, how are you? We are 2 Cuban students who are watching for the second time your lessons in Barcelona. Hello, Barcelona. Thank you very much for all your efforts. We will keep following you, says Elena and Gustavo. Hello to Gustavo as well. Colombia, Leah is watching in Colombia. We have Mehran Qasimi, Mehran Qasimi, who is watching in Iran and says you are a very good teacher. Thank you very much, Mehran. Vino Kumar says your videos are awesome. Can we expect more videos of English from you. Yes, of course, there will be more English videos. I'm not stopping. I'm not giving up. I will be here for as long as you want me to. So if you want me to stay here, I will. It's as simple as that. Ali Hussein says, you are the best. Continue being as you are, Mr. Duncan. I'm not changing. It is true that some people don't like me. Some people say, yeah, have you seen that Mr. Duncan? I don't like him. I don't like him. Something. He always wears a hat. What's that all about? Why does he always wear a hat? I don't like him. Mr. Duncan, yeah. Leah Avila says, I like the globe of the earth you have on the night table. There it is over there. The globe. That's where we all live. I was going to say happily. I really want to say happily. Pedro Redondo Garrido says, hi Mr. Duncan from Spain. Hello Spain. España. Spain. I tell you one says, can you say hello to Julia? Hello Julia. Hello Julia. I tell you says hello to Julia, and so do I. English Food Club says Sawadi, which is of course hello in Thai. Vugar Ramili. Sometimes when I pronounce the names, I might have to take a run at it 2 or 3 times. It's like breaking down a door. Oh dear. Salam alaikum, Mr. Duncan. We love and support you, says Vugar Ramili. That's it. I think that's it. Hello, Vugar. Alesso Matira says, I love Mr. Lomax. Do you want him? Alesso, do you want him? I can send Mr. Lomax to you. He can go and stay with you for a few weeks. But you won't like it, trust me. Mr. Lomax is very annoying. Let's move further down the list. Oh my gosh, there are so many messages here. Okay, I think I'm nearly at the bottom. The one thing about YouTube chat is it's very difficult to follow the text. It moves so quickly on the screen. Where do you live now, Mr. Duncan? From Vugar. Vugar says, where do you live? I live in England in a place called Much Wenlock. Shahid Hussein says, I did my IELTS back in November of 2014 and secured a 6 band. Congratulations. Well done. So all that hard work, it was worth it. I am good at speaking. Oh, 7 for that. Shahid says, I do dream and speak to myself in English. There's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. Of course, the problem is sometimes you might answer yourself back. That's when it gets strange. Well done to Shahid, and congratulations on passing your IELTS back in 2014. Kar Nujuk. Hello, you are so smart. You are wonderful. You mean me? Oh, thank you. Here's an interesting name. McKiller Abode or Abod. McKiller Abod says, I'm from Yemen. Hello, Yemen. Mrs. T and M. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Are you teaching privately? For example, online lessons to reduce the accent. I don't do private lessons. This is something that I get asked all the time. In fact, it's a question that I get asked almost every single day. Do you teach English privately? I don't, because, well, I don't really have the time. And of course, I love giving my lessons away for free. So YouTube is the place to watch my English lessons, and of course here now every Friday with my live stream. Leah Avila says, I do not know what is that thing. Is it from space or something? You mean this? Does anybody know what it is? Do you know? Do you know? If you think you know what this is, please let me know. The one thing it isn't is a lightsaber. It's definitely not a lightsaber. It's not a lightsaber. Ruben I. Sanchez asks, where in England do you live, Mr. Duncan? As I said earlier, I live in England. I live in a county called Shropshire, and the place I live is called Much Wenlock. It's a very tiny, small place, a small little village. It's very shao. That's Chinese for small. And Zonic says, I like your new microphone. I don't know if it is better than the Rode NTG2, but definitely sounds great that day. You used the NTG2. Well, guess what, Anzonic? This is also a Rode mic. This is a Rode mic, but this has a slightly better sound. Well, I think it does anyway. And of course, with this one I can get very close to it, because with the NTG2 you can't get close to it, but with this one you can get very close to it and talk right into the mic. And to Chuan Huyen, I really must learn Vietnamese. And to Chuan Huyen says, hi Mr. Duncan. Hi Anne. And Zonic again says, Mr. Duncan, I see you are using a sound desk too. You are learning audio-visual world. You are learning audio-visual world, and we learn English. It's true. Although I have a confession to make. Many years ago, I used to work in radio. It's true. I used to have a radio show on a community radio station. And also I used to work many years ago at a voluntary radio station as well. So I do know a little bit about the audio-visual world. So this was quite easy to set up. But you know what technology is like. You can set it up, but it doesn't mean that it will work. Ah, dear. Hi, Mr. Duncan says, let's move on. Sorry, I'm reading the old messages again. Leah Avila says, Mr. Duncan, will you upload Full English 24? Will there be a Full English 24? Yes, there will. Right now I am making Full English 24. And don't forget, there are only 2 more full English lessons, just 2 more. And then I will be moving on to something else. But don't forget, this live stream will be here every week. So next Friday, we will be doing the same thing all over again with a different subject and also a different mystery object. But this is this week's mystery object. What is it? What do you think it is? Any ideas? What do you think it is? It isn't a lightsaber. It's definitely not a lightsaber. Moving on with the questions. Khan Najuk gives me a big smiley face. Thank you for that. Sylvia Curti. I like so very much, Mr. Duncan. You could, of course, say, I like Mr. Duncan very much. Sylvia Curti. Thank you for that. Leah Avila, or Leah Avila, writes, I like you extremely. Nora Al says, hi. Hi, Nora. Leah Avila writes, what is your favourite food? Wow, my favourite food. That's not easy to answer, because I like all sorts of food. But I do like fish. I must admit, a lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, do you eat meat? They ask me if I am a meat eater. I used to eat a lot of meat. That rhymes. I used to eat a lot of meat. But now I have it beat. That's a terrible poem. So I used to eat meat, but now I've cut out meat completely, virtually from my diet, almost. But I still eat fish. I do like eating fish, I must admit. So if there are any vegans or vegetarians watching, I don't eat much meat anymore, but I still eat fish. And yes, I do like food. I used to love chocolate. I used to eat chocolate all the time. Oh my goodness, I miss chocolate so much. But now, I hardly ever eat chocolate. It's terrible. So my favourite food used to be chocolate, but now I can't eat chocolate because you may have noticed that I'm losing weight. I've been losing a bit of weight. I was getting a little unhealthy, so I've changed my diet and I've also lost a bit of weight. People say, Mr. Duncan, you look younger for some reason. Why? And I think the reason is because I've lost weight. Don't ask my age, please. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? Everybody's going to ask my age now. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Sabah HHS. Sabah says, hello, Mr. Duncan from Egypt. Hello, Sabah, and a big hello to Egypt, the land of the pyramids. Leah, what was that noise I just made? I must apologise if I make some strange noises sometimes. I don't know what that is. I think it's my porridge coming up to say hello. It goes, hello, I'm Mr. Duncan's porridge. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Mr. Duncan. Oh gosh. There are so many messages coming up now. Vinod Kumar says, why don't you do live sessions every day? As many hours as possible, apart from uploading the same live lessons as videos, so that we will learn as much English as possible. I think what you are asking me there, Vinod, is could you do this every day? Could you do a live lesson every day? What are you trying to do to me? Are you trying to kill me? I don't think I would be able to do that. I don't think I could do a live stream every day. I learned my lesson when I did Dunktober. Does anybody remember Dunktober? Did you watch my Dunktober videos? I think that was in 2013. I did some special lessons in October, and I made a new lesson every day. And I nearly had a nervous breakdown doing it. So no, I probably won't be doing these live streams every day. I think I would I think I would go crazy. Don't say anything. Don't say, Mr. Duncan, you are already crazy. Yeah. Leah Avila says, I want Mr. Lomax. Alessio says, no, Mr. Lomax is not boring. No, Mr. Lomax isn't boring. He isn't boring. He's annoying. Annoying. He really is. Chang Nam Lee says, in my country, which is Korea, we have already started the rainy season. What about the UK? Well, it's supposed to be summer here. It's summer now in England. But we've had so much rain this summer. Even now outside, the weather outside is very dark and cloudy, and it looks as if it's about to rain. So no, we're not having a very good summer here. It's a bad summer. Very wet. My name is Fatah Geujao. Fatah Geujao or Gujao. Can you say hello to Lydia and Ayman for me? Hello Lydia and hello Ayman or Imen. Dat Bui Vin says, are you happy? I hope so. Say hello to Mr. Lomax and happy weekend as well, says Amri Wadi. I will say hello to Mr. Lomax. He's not here at the moment. He's gone to Hollywood. Apparently he's auditioning for one of the new superhero movies. So Mr. Lomax isn't here at the moment. He's gone to the United States. He's in Hollywood. He's auditioning. He wants a part in a Hollywood movie. I don't think he'll get it. No. XP Learning says, how are you, Mr. Duncan? I am fine and dandy, hunky-dory, fit as a fiddle. Astrid Martinez says, hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Astrid. Khan Najak says, have YouTube send you YouTube silver button? Oh yes, of course. I haven't got one. They did not send me a silver button. YouTube did not. And this year I'm going to get 500,000 subscribers. I wonder if YouTube will send me something. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Maybe YouTube will send me some ideas for making my videos better. Mr. Duncan, this is YouTube here. We would like to improve your videos. Could you please be American? Could you please be 20? And could you please change your name to Josh? I'm going to get into trouble for that. Astrid says hello. Leah Avila says you are a genius. Wasn't Einstein a genius? I don't think I'm like Einstein. English Food Club. Is Mr. Lomax a real ape? Can he talk? Yes, of course. Mr. Lomax is real. He's in Hollywood at the moment. He's auditioning for a part in a new superhero movie. Meila Borgiano says, oh, maybe this is a vacuum cleaner. Meila, you are very close. Well done. You are very close. It isn't. It isn't a vacuum cleaner. But you are very close. This piece of equipment, this particular item, has a certain use. But what is that use? Oh, that's better. I had an itchy eye then. I'm sorry about that. So what is it? What does it do? But it's not a vacuum cleaner. But you are close. You are very close. It is near. But I want to know what it is used for. What is its purpose? Sylvia Curti says, is so very much correct. I've learnt it from Blair on TV yesterday. Thank you so very much. Yes, thank you very much. So very much. Yes, it's a little informal. It's not formal English, but you can say so very much. Thank you so very much. So very much. Maria A says, hey! Hey, Maria. Lucia says, is the CAE certificate as useful as IELTS? I would probably go with IELTS. Although I know now somebody will say, no, Mr. Duncan, no, you're wrong. CAE is better. IELTS can get you into many places nowadays, including the United States, as I said earlier. Mehran Krasimi. If you want a good mic, go to Newman. That is better than Rode. Can I just say something here? While I just grab some water. Meran says, if you want a good mic, go for Newman. That is very better than Rode. Yeah, Newman mics, Newman microphones like this. This isn't a Newman, this is a Rode mic. But the Newman mics, yes, but they are quite expensive. Taiguela. That's Chinese for too expensive. Taiguela. Right, we're just looking here. We are now at 2:39. It's now 20 minutes before 3 o'clock, so we only have 20 minutes left. If you want a good mic, we've done that one. Maria says, does Mr. Duncan read the chat? Yes, I'm reading it now. I'm reading it right now. But there are so many messages, so I'm going through them very slowly. Abdul Al Fatah says, Mr. Duncan, do you live in England still? Mr. Duncan, do you in England still say I haven't instead of I don't have? Do we say I haven't instead of I don't have? I suppose because of the mixture now of British English and American English, and this is the problem now. Even I sometimes use Americanisms in my speech because of the influence of watching American TV. So I would have to say that both are okay. I haven't or I don't have. I don't have is much more formal, but I haven't. I haven't got the time. I don't have the time. I think that thing looks like a paper cup collector. Is it? Says Chang Man Lee. No, it isn't. It isn't a paper cup collector. But it does have a purpose. But what is the purpose? What? What does this do? La 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 la. I like it when you do live streams. You should do more. I am going to do a live stream every single week. So if you want to watch me, you can join me every Friday. Friday at 1 o'clock. 1 till 3. Although I have a strange feeling that today I might go slightly over 2 hours. We'll see. Ah, dear. Sabah HHS says, have you any Korean fans here? I'm sure I have people watching in Korea. Lots of people watching in South Korea, definitely. You may not know this, but I can actually see where you are watching. I can go into my YouTube analytics and I can actually see which countries are watching me around the world. So yes, I do have lots of viewers in South Korea. Not so many in North Korea. I don't know why. I don't think they like me. Would you like to learn other languages? Says Esther Cassandra. Well, yes. When I was living in China, I had to learn Chinese. I had to learn survival Chinese. So I can speak other languages, but not much. Not much. Just Idian Dian. Idian Dian. That's Chinese for just a little. When will you come to Vietnam? Says THB Nam. When will I come to Vietnam? I don't know. I'm not sure. I love travelling, but at the moment I'm not travelling anywhere because I'm too busy here with my work. So I was hoping to have a holiday later this year, but at the moment I don't know. But I would like to go to Vietnam or come to Vietnam. Maria A says, who knows where does he read the questions from? Who knows where does he read the questions from? I read the questions from the YouTube chat, which is next to the video. So many. Oh my gosh. I'm just looking at some of the messages here, and some of them are a bit rude. Shahid Hussein says, have you ever tried biryani? Biryani. That's like a curry. I think that might be hot. I do like curry, but normally I eat curry that's very mild. I like korma. That's a type of curry. That's very mild curry, korma. And also there is another one called madras, which is kind of, I think that's in the middle, madras. but biryani. Yes, it is a type of meal, a type of food. Abdul Majid. Hello, Abdul. Why did you change your diet? It's a bit of a personal one, but I will answer. Well, I changed my diet because I wanted to lose some weight. I wanted to get healthy. Because I'm not young, so I want to take care of my health. So I live a long time. So Abdul, I changed my diet because I just wanted to eat more healthily. XP Learning. No. XP Learning asks, Mr. Duncan, how old are you? And also Khalid. Khalid says, how old are you? And Zonic says, if my theory is incorrect, I think it's a giant cigarette. Of course, it is empty. No, it isn't a thing for smoking cigarettes. Or I could sort of. No, it's not. It's not for smoking cigarettes. Okay. Hi, do you like football? Asks Tushkin Alexander. Tushkin Alexander, do you like football? I don't like football that much. When I say I don't like it, I don't mean I hate football. I mean I don't follow football. I don't follow any football. But I don't hate it. We must get that clear. Marcelo, so if you still eat fish, I know I can take some fish and chips with you when I come to England. Yes, Marcelo. Yes, I love fish and chips, even though they are a little bit fattening. Fish and chips have a lot of fat in them. Somebody has written, but I can't read the Arabic name. You've been dreaming in Dunktober, haven't you? I have. Although Dunktober was a bit of a nightmare for me. Definitely. It was a bit of a nightmare, I have to say. TBH Nam asks, which street food do you like the best? Which street food do you like the best? I like street food. Oh, I see. Like, because I used to go to Malaysia a lot, and I used to eat a lot of the noodles from the street food sellers. So yes, you're right. So anything really, a bit of fried noodles, bit of fried chicken. Mr. Lomax isn't annoying. He's a very nice ape, says Donny D. Okay. But you don't have to live with him. I do. He's very annoying. Leah Avila, could you do a video showing your city? I think England is beautiful. Well, I do sometimes take my camera out and about to show you some of the sites near where I live. So, yes, that would be fun. There is a video on my YouTube channel where I talk about the place I live in, which is Much Wenlock. And that is the video about the Olympic Games. So if you just go to my videos on my YouTube channel and search for Mr. Duncan Olympic Games, just put Olympic Games or Olympic Trail, and that video should come up. But you see a lot of where I live, Much Wenlock, in my Olympic lesson. Hello from Qatar, says Khaled Rikabi. Khaled, hello from Qatar. Hello to Qatar from Mr. Duncan in England. Sahu Yusuf says, I see your channel is new. Thank you. My name is Fatun Bar, and I live in the USA. Leah Avila, please greet us. Sabina, hello Sabina. Josu, Samina, Josu, Michelle, and Leah. We are all watching you. Wow. So a big hello to Sabrina, Josu, and Michelle, and of course Leah. Hello Mr. Duncan, I'm from Brazil. Nice to meet you. Hello Elias Elnata. I think the most entertaining part of watching this today must be seeing me try to pronounce all of these names. If I do pronounce your name wrong, please forgive me. Look at that, 9 minutes left. Dear me. Mr. Duncan says, Donny D, this is a sexy toy. No. Omar Amani says, hi sir. Hi Omar. THB Nam asks, do you like the Brexit personally? Omar Amani says, I need ways to speak UK accents. Well, you can listen. You can listen to the UK accent. You can listen to the way in which English is spoke or spoken. Elias says, I'm looking for people to practice English using WhatsApp. That's a good idea. Yes, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a very useful app for your phone, and it allows you to send messages and talk freely using mobile phone signals or Wi-Fi. It's very useful. WhatsApp. And of course now you can set up your own group using WhatsApp. So that's a good idea. If you would like to do that, go ahead, give it a try. Vikas Maske says, hello sir, I'm a new one. I'm from India. Hello India. I'm feeling very hungry now. I want to eat some Indian food. I want to eat some curry and some rice and some noodles and some fish and chips. Abdul Al Fatah says, do you speak another language? I speak some Chinese. Ni hao. Or sure. Duncan. That's hello, my name is Duncan in Chinese. Elias Elnata says, Mr. Duncan, come to Brazil and see the Olympic Games. I would love to, but I can't because I have to work here. But good luck with the Olympic Games starting in just a few days, isn't it? Isn't it a few days? Just the end of this month, isn't it? Isn't it the end of July? The Olympic Games begins. Ooh. But I'm not taking part. I won't be there, unfortunately. But I hope you all have a good time there. And a safe time, of course. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you today? Says Dat Bouvin. I'm okay. I'm not too bad. I've been here now for 1 hour and 54 minutes. Mr. Duncan, will you start writing books from now on? If so, please let us know. That's a good idea. Yes, writing something, putting it into an exercise book. Of course, publishing a book is very expensive, but you can do it now on Amazon. So that is a good idea. That is a good idea. Thank you for that suggestion. Another greeting from Korea. Eleanor Brito. Eleanor Brito says, by the way, we love your new house over in Much Wenlock. It's an amazing place. Say hello to Mr. Steve too. I will say hello to Mr. Steve. He's not here. He's not here at the moment. He's out and about. Son von Kablen says hi from Tizi Ouzou in Algeria. Do you know Mount Juradura? I don't know that. I can't even pronounce it. Mr. Duncan, glad to see you again from Korea. Dokun Boan says, is it live now? Yes, it's live. Can you see the time there? It's live. Look, there it is. The time now is 2:55 in the UK, and this is absolutely live on Friday afternoon here in England. Hello from the Ukraine. I like your lessons and see them regularly. You do it perfectly. My best thanks. Thank you too. Dokun Buen says, interesting. Thanks. Glad to see you. From Brazil says, Heliosa Jusmao. Hello, Heliosa. Heloisa. Shall we try Heloisa? I think it's Heloisa. Hello, Heloisa in Brazil. Papitan says hello, good to see you. Hello to Russia. Do you like Halloween? I like Halloween because, well, I like Halloween because you can eat lots of chocolate. But I don't like the ghosts and the ghouls. I don't like being grabbed by the ghosts, and I definitely don't like being grabbed by the ghouls. Papitan says, I am from Thailand. Hello, Thailand. Hi. Hello there. Ali Hussein says, Mr. Duncan, will you start writing? Oh, I've read that already. What's going on here? I've gone back in time. Mr. Duncan, Sabah says, what do you think of the VOA channel? Very good. Voice of America. They do special English on the Voice of America, which means that they speak very slowly at a steady pace so you can understand everything that is being said. Dokian Buan says, haha. Abdul Majid says, what do you think of the Brexit? Great surprise. English says, great surprise. I'm very surprised to see you here live, Mr. Duncan. I'm very surprised as well. I'm very surprised that I'm here live. Sometimes I'm very surprised to find that I am alive. Dwee Najuan says, I am from Vietnam. I am Vietnamese. The mystery object. This is not for storing paper inside, no. Somebody said earlier that it's a vacuum cleaner, and they were very close. So think about vacuum cleaner, but what is this used for? Think carefully. What could you use this for? I hope to see you face to face one day, says Son van Kablen. Kabilen. Son or Son. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. I'm sure one of those was right. Hi, I'm from the Kingdom of Bahrain. I love your way of teaching, says Asama Edom. Hello to the Kingdom of Bahrain. Sorry, Mr. Duncan, for your... Sorry, Mr. Duncan, for flooding your chat. That's okay, you are welcome. I'm working my way through them. It is now 3 o'clock. I should be finishing now, but instead I'm going to continue for a bit longer. So let's have a look. Bum, bum, bum. Mr. Duncan. Mercedes Duarte thinks it's a lamp. No, it's not a lamp. Yaziel says, is it a water pump? No, it's not a water pump. It definitely isn't a water pump. Think of vacuum cleaner. Think of vacuum cleaner. What might you take away with a vacuum cleaner? Especially something that looks like this. Omar Omani says, do you know Oman? Oman? Yes, of course I do. Can you see there? I've got a globe there. Everything is there. Do you answer the Brexit? Abdul Mahid says, answer the Brexit question, please. Carlos, is it a smoking pipe? No, Carlos, it is not for smoking anything. Leah, it is the handle for a vacuum cleaner. No, it's not part of a vacuum cleaner, no. Do you have a bonus for us today? Yes, I do. It appears that I'm now going to be live streaming for a little bit longer, because now it's 2 minutes past 3. I should have gone 2 minutes ago, but I'm still here. Claudia says dust. Well, you could suck dust up with this, but it's something else. Something else. Not dust. Something else. You're very close, but it's not dust. Say hello to Brazil, says Vitor Soares or Soros. Vitor Soros says, say hello to Brazil. Hello, Brazil. And of course, the Olympic Games are coming soon there in just a few, I think it's a couple of weeks, isn't it? Or just a few days. It's not long. So a big hello to Brazil. Leah Avila says, is it a container for rolled up paintings? No, it's not. Nothing like that. Abdul Majid says, lol, you're funny. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm funny? What, funny? Or funny? Ooh. There's 2 types of funny, you see. 2 types. I hope I'm the first one. Mayella, is it for small coins? No. Son von Kablen, it's German. It's German, teacher. We spell Zoon von Kablen. I'm not sure what that means. Can you give us another hint? Yes, it's a vacuum cleaner, but it's not for dust. It's for something else. Helios Gusmeo. Try to pronounce the Brazilian word for bean. Feijão. 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 Bean. Feijão. Feijão. Is that okay? Peter Pang. Hello, Peter Pang. It is a vacuum cleaner bag. Oh, sorry. It is a vacuum bag pump for packing the clothes. That's a good suggestion. Yes, You could use this for taking the air out of a bag when you want to pack your clothes away. But it isn't. It isn't for that. Definitely not. It's for something else. You won't believe the answer when I give it to you. Come on, Mr. Duncan, the time is ending. Tell us what it is, please, says Anzonic. Da, da, da. Games start on... Claudia, that's what you mean. Mr. Duncan, why do people from the UK love the Queen? Well, of course, the Queen is the monarch. She is the head of the state. And lots of people like her. But you know, I do wish the Queen would smile more. She never looks very happy. If I was the Queen of England... If I was the Queen of England, I would always look happy. I would look happy all the time. And everywhere I went, I would go dum-dee-dee, dum-dee-dum-dee, dum-dum-dee-dee-dum, just like David Cameron. So many people love the Queen because she's the Queen of England and the Commonwealth, but not the world. Mercedes, is that for paper? No. Sorry to be so short with you, but no. THB Nam, I think you could be a very good actor. Have you ever played in a piece of drama? No, I've never been an actor, ever. A lot of people say that I should be an actor, but I've never, ever been an actor. Ever in my life. Can you... Oh, I'm sorry, I can't keep up with the text keeps moving too quickly. It moves all the time. Can you tell us a joke, please? A man walks into the doctor's. He says, "Doctor, doctor, people keep ignoring me." And the doctor replies, "Next, please." Gustavo Montoros says, "Hello." Carlos GV, "Oh no, now I think I know what that tube is. Could that be part of a cleaning machine from a swimming pool?" No, Carlos, it isn't. It is not that. Abdul Al Fatah says, "I love the British accent more than the American accent." Careful. And American better, because I can't find British movies or series that are as interesting as American ones. There are lots of British programs, lots of funny British programs. Does anyone watch Sherlock? Do you like Sherlock? That's a very popular program around the world. That's made here in England by the BBC. Hello, this is the BBC from London saying, "How do you do?" Sherlock. That's made in England. That's a British film. Also, Four Weddings and a Funeral. I know it's a very old film, but it's a British film. But yes, the British accent is rather nice to listen to. But of course, lots of people nowadays speak American English. But I like both. I have no problem with American English, and I have no problem with British English. I love it all. Because it's English. Tushkin Alexander, I wonder why English and other European young people always sit on the ground and pavement. For example, my parents always have said to me that it's harmful for your health if you sit on the ground. I'm not sure. I've heard of that. They say if you sit on the ground or if you sit on a cold surface, maybe you'll get some sort of illness, like maybe a cold or fever. I sometimes lie on the ground when I'm tired. I'll sleep anywhere. Is it dry? Is it for drying water up? Is it for drying water or sucking water? No, it's not for that. We lo e tor classes. Kausago 17. I love your classes, says Kausago 17. Anwar, I love you. Is that for me? You already look happy all the time, Mr. Duncan. You do not need to be the Queen. Thank you, Claudia. I am from Vietnam. Nice to speak with you, says Min Vu. I know now. It is for cleaning the ears of giants. And Zonic says, no, it's not for cleaning out the ears of giants. Although there is a movie coming out soon, The Big Friendly Giant, the BFG, written by the author of Roald Dahl. That's in the movies coming soon. A new movie featuring a big giant. But no, this isn't for cleaning out the ears of giants. Definitely not. I love Sherlock, says Yazil. I love Sherlock. And of course, Sherlock stars Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch. I agree with Claudia. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Thank you for your lessons. You were the first YouTuber teaching me English. How many countries have you visited? Says BCM 5645. Is that really your name? I've been to a few countries around the world. I've been to France. I've been to Greece. I've been to Madeira. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Malaysia, as I mentioned earlier. And of course, I've been to China. I used to live in China. I lived in China for 4 years. I can't read all of these questions now because there are so many. There are millions and millions of questions. Millions, honestly. I'm not exaggerating. There really are millions of lessons. I love your English tutorial, says Balakrishna. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I'm glad that I have the chance to tell you that you are the best teacher, and please tell me how I can achieve best results from your lessons. Abdullah Qasim or Qasem asks me that. Well, of course, watching my lessons, listening to my lessons, writing down some of the words that I use in my lessons. And of course, you can watch my lessons again and again and again, as many times as you want. No, it isn't a paper cup holder. Fam. Leah, it isn't a tennis ball container. No. BCM 5645. No, my name is Victor Markach. Victor Markach, and I'm from Poland. You have visited a lot of countries. I have. I can understand your speaking, but can't understand clear what they say in Sherlock. I know some of the people in Sherlock have accents. Is it a yard vacuum? No, I'm afraid not. Mr. Duncan, I love your English tutorials, says E.ut. Would you tell us what that thing is, says Abdul Al Fatah. Okay, I will tell you in 1 minute. A minute from now, I will tell you what it is. But please don't leave me. Maybe a golf ball collector. No, it's not that. But you are close. It is for collecting something. But what? It's one specific type of thing. I will give you another clue. It's for collecting something that is alive. It is for collecting something that is alive. Da, da, da. Mr. Duncan, how do you earn a living? Just like everybody else, I have to work. And sometimes I do things for free. Like this. I'm doing this for free. Can you believe it? This is for free. But it is kind of work. But yes, I do work. I do have to work. When will you visit Vietnam? 1 day. 1 day. I would love to visit Vietnam. Sahur Yusuf, Mr. Duncan, did you eat Somalia food? No, I've never tried Somalia food. I would love to try some. If you could suggest something for me to try, that sounds good to me. I love all food, as long as it's not too spicy. I don't like too spicy food. Like that. I don't like that. Da, da, da. Is that for you to play or vacuum? It is for vacuuming. But what? Carlos GV says, please tell us for... I can't say that. I'll get told off. Abdul Majid says, is it for vacuuming bugs? You are very close. Very close. But think of something else. Bugs. Something else. But you're very close. Da, da, da. Is that for collecting air? No. Says Holisa Gusmau. Okay, I'm going to tell you now. Here it comes. Here's the answer. So hold your answers, please. The answer is coming now. So this particular thing here that I'm holding in my hand, can you see it? If I press this button here, a little motor comes on at the bottom. This device is for removing spiders. It's a spider catcher. It's true. I'm not joking. This is used for catching spiders. If you have a big spider in your house, and I really don't like spiders. I'm very, very afraid of spiders. I don't like them. Especially big ones that are like this. This is for collecting spiders without killing them. So you can pick the spider up without killing it. So you just put it over the spider and then you turn the motor on like that, and the spider goes inside. And then you put this on the end, you take it outside, and you put the spider into the garden. You let it go. So that's it. That's what this is. It's a spider catcher. But it means that you can catch the spider without having to kill it. So there you go. And I use this all the time. I don't know why. my house, the spiders love coming in, and some of them are really big. They're as big as your hand. They're really big, and they go up inside here, and then I put them outside so they don't die. But then, of course, all they do is turn around and come back in the house again. So that's it. La la la. Right, let's have a look. Wow, lots of people seem to be reacting to that news. What you do here on YouTube is for free when it comes to money, but you are going to be compensated as you are a priceless soul. Sorry about that. Had to drink some water then. Yes. This is definitely water. It's nothing else. La la la. Wow, here in England, or there in England, there are lots of spiders, says Yazil. There are lots of spiders there in England. Yes, there are. There are lots of spiders here. Trust me. Do I hate Spider-Man? No, I don't. Carlos says, no bleep, dude. Really? How many spiders crawl through your house to buy a specific device like that? I get many spiders in my house, trust me. Many spiders come in my house. Lots. So that's why. And thank you for the swear word. Yeah, I forgot that. I watched videos about this machine, says Abdullah. Claudia says, it makes sense, as in the UK we can find a lot of spiders as it is an island. This is true. I think there are many spiders living just outside my house here, and they wait for me to open the windows, and then they crawl in to the house and then scare me. You really don't want to hear me scream. I scream like a girl. It's true. What happens if a spider climbs on you, says Khan Najuk. I would scream, as I just said, like a girl. Like a big girl. Donny D, it's a very useful thing. It is a very useful thing, and I've used it so many times to catch the spiders so they don't die. So they can go outside and run around. Apparently the word for a fear of spiders is arachnophobia. It's true. What happened? Let's have a look. Spider catcher. Yes, the machine is a spider catcher. Mayella agrees with Carlos. And fam, the Spider-Men would be scared because of that device. Yes, I could definitely suck Spider-Man up with this. Well, maybe not all of him. Hey, says Lucy Lou, subscribe to my channel. Okay. Abdul Al Fatah says, why don't you kill the spiders? Kill them. Kill them. I don't like to kill them. They're just trying to live their little lives. I just don't want them living in my house and scaring me. Alessio says, thank you, Mr. Duncan, for all. Chang Namli says, what a lovely thought. Abdul Al Fatah says they will come back again if you don't kill them. Of course they come back, but I think some of these spiders I'm catching have been in and out of my house about 20 times. They must be getting really tired of coming in here and then me taking them all the way back outside, and then they have to come back in again. La 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 la. Mr. Duncan. Oh, I'm losing my track now. A big hello, a big special hello to you. My name is Mohammed Kamara from Guinea in West Africa. Guinea Conakry in West Africa, but now in Malaysia. Hello, Malaysia. Yes, I've been to Malaysia many times. I can't express how much I love your lessons. You're welcome, and a big hello to you. No problem. I'm very glad that my lessons are helpful. How many English dialects are being used in England? Says BCM 5645. There are many dialects in England, and of course across the UK, because you have accents in other countries as well, other parts of the UK. You have Scotland, of course, where English is spoken with an accent. You have Wales, where English is spoken with an accent. And of course in England there are many different types of dialect. A lot of people say that my accent is standard English, but it isn't. I have an accent. You might not realise it, but I also have an accent. A lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, your English is RP, but it isn't. It isn't received pronunciation. Trust me, it isn't. You catch spiders by using this spider catcher. Then the spider will die. No, it doesn't kill the spider. The spider just goes inside and stays in the tube. And then you put the top on and put it outside. No. I can safely say that so far I have killed no spiders with this machine. No spiders were harmed in the use of this machine. Definitely. Mr. Duncan, do you have any pets? No, I have Mr. Lomax. He's a pet, but the problem is Mr. Lomax says that I'm his pet. He says, Mr. Duncan, you are my pet. Ruby 2, or Ruby 2. Do you live alone? Sometimes. Where could I get one of these machines? What, this? It's like a shopping trolley, a shopping channel. Not a shopping trolley, a shopping channel. It's like a shopping channel, this, look. Hello, welcome to Mr. Duncan's shopping channel. And today we are going to talk about this fly and spider catcher. You can also catch flies in this, but normally you can't because the flies are too fast. But you can catch spiders in this. So you can catch any insect that doesn't move very fast. There you go. Yeah. I don't know where you can buy this. I bought this a while back on the internet. Yes, the internet. You can buy one of these on the internet. But don't forget, I'm not being paid to show this before anybody asks. They say, Mr. Duncan, are you being paid to show that? No, I'm not. I bought that for myself so I could get rid of the spiders because I don't like them. All right, now I want a spider removal device like that, says Carlos. Mayella, yes, he has pets. Khan the Jock asks, Mr. Duncan, why are you so bald? It's a bit personal. Spiders. I feel like your language is more simple. You're not using difficult expressions. Well, I'm just talking normally. This is just normal English. This is just everyday English. This is just English. Says San von Babylin. Ingoroid 7 says, I have no spiders in the house, but many ants. Oh yes, ants. They're terrible. They're very hard to get rid of, ants. You can't use one of these to get rid of ants because it would take you forever. Mr. Duncan, is it possible to learn English alone? Yes, you can learn English alone, but as long as you do it regularly. I think my English listening skill is quite okay, and I can read newspapers, but can't chat with others in English. That is normal. It's a normal thing. Many people who are learning English can normally read English quite well. They can normally write English well, but quite often they can't speak it very well. So your problem is normal. It's a normal problem. It's a common problem. The jock and the tea. The jock. The joke. The jock. My Vietnamese pronunciation isn't that good, I'm sorry. Don't shout at me. Mayella Borgiano, as seen on Duncan TV. Yes, maybe I should start my own shopping channel. I love your sense of humour. Abdul Al Fatah says, how can I say I can't without being misunderstood? Can't. Can't. That's how you say it. I can't. Can't. You can't. Are there in British any words like face control and startup? Because when I talk with some British people in my country, they didn't understand these words. I'm not sure about face control, but startup. Startup is a common phrase. It means a new business. Gustav, Mr. Duncan, what is your advice to understand fast English spoken, where many words are linking, or cancellation of letters, or so on? Well, of course, yes, this does happen. Sometimes I speak English very quickly, and sometimes I speak English slowly, but most of the time, even in my everyday English, I speak it at a steady pace. But it can be hard. You need to get used to listening to different types of accent. Mr. Duncan, please, what is your advice to... Oh, I've just read that one. Mr. Duncan? Oh, I think I'm almost at the end here. We're almost finished. Adriana Domiquez. Hi, Mr. Duncan. And Catalina says, hi, when will be the next chat? I am late. Catalin, I've been here for 2.5 hours. It's true. But don't worry, you can watch this again when it's uploaded to YouTube, because YouTube will allow you to watch it again on demand. So don't worry. The next live chat will be next Friday, the same time, about 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock UK time. So next Friday will be the next chat. Can you understand the Scottish accent? Sometimes the Scottish accent can be very difficult to understand, even for a native English speaker. So yes, sometimes the Scottish accent is hard to understand, even for us native speakers. Or certainly native speakers that live in other parts of the UK. Can you understand the Scottish accent? Alexander Zabolski. What's more natural, Mr. Duncan, to have a thing for or about something or somebody? You normally have a thing for something. I have a thing for it. That means you like it, you admire it. I have a thing for it. I have a thing for English. Mr. Duncan, I like the posh way of speaking. I will always listen to you. But I love your speaking way as it's not too informal. But I do have an accent. Most people say I don't have an accent, but I do. I have an accent. I would like you to advise some personality that speak posh so that I can listen to them. Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant is an actor. If you watch Hugh Grant, he is a British actor and he acts in movies and sometimes on television and on stage. If you watch 4 Weddings and a Funeral, he is in that and he speaks very posh English. And also, what's the other? Notting Hill as well. Hugh Grant is in that movie. And he speaks with a very posh British accent. I say. Oh, I say. When will you come to Italy? Says Alessio. I don't know. I would love to say when, but I'm not sure. I haven't travelled for some time. Not for 2 years. I haven't travelled abroad for 2 years. Because I've been too busy with my work. Last year I was decorating and painting the house. This year I'm working on my English lessons. What do you recommend for getting better English speaking? To speak English better, you need to listen to as many ways of speaking English, but also listen to yourself. Don't be afraid to listen to your own voice. Hey Mr. Duncan, thanks for your kindness and generosity, mate, says Ali Arang. Thank you, Ali. Lady Catherine 91. I have Kaimani. Sophobas Morio. In English, superworms. Ew. Kai Najuan says it's 9:37 in Southeast Asia. 9:37, late at night. Now it's 3:39 here in the afternoon. It's still daytime here. Lady Catherine, sorry for the double comment. Don't worry, it's all right. Oh, that's it. I'm at the end. I'm at the end of the comments. We are now at the end of the comments. Ryman Tomo says hi. Hi, Ryman. Or Ryan Tomo. Sorry about that. Mr. Duncan, you should go to my school. You're funnier than my teacher, says Lucy Lou. When I was teaching English in China, I used to visit many schools. Other schools used to phone my school and ask me to visit their school so I could teach them English. But of course the problem was that there's only one me, unless of course you can clone me and have lots of copies of Mr. Duncan everywhere around the world. Could you imagine that? Not sure if I want to think about that one. You have been here for 3 hours. Wow, thank you, says Carly Najuan. Mr. Duncan, you should go to my school. Yes, Lucy, I will think about that. Where is your school? Where are you, Lucy? Where are you? Can I get an advice for improving my listening skills? Listen to something that you are comfortable with. That's it. Listen to things that you are comfortable with. Listen to things that you can listen to easily, and then slowly change the thing to something that is slightly more difficult. We call it a learning curve. This is the learning curve. You start off with something easy and then you slowly increase the difficulty. So that was Alkali Garwadi or Al-Khalil Garwadi. So start off by listening to things that are simple, and then just increase the difficulty over time. And don't forget to listen to yourself. Don't be afraid to listen to your own voice. Leah, will you do a video on your birthday in August? Yes, my birthday is coming up in August. How do you usually celebrate your birthday? Well, as you know, I'm very old now, so I don't like to think too much about my birthday. Last year, I did a special message for my birthday because I had reached a certain age last year. So this year, maybe, hey, I've got a good idea. Here's a good idea. Why don't I do a live stream on my birthday? And then you can all wish me happy birthday live. Does that sound good? Is that a good idea? Mr. Duncan, do you like cats or dogs? I don't mind both really, but not together because they might fight. There is an expression in English that goes, to fight like cats and dogs. Chang Nam Lee says, watch out, Duncan, there is a spider on your back. No, there isn't. You're only kidding. Lucy Lou is in Ecuador. Hello, Ecuador, and hello, Lucy. More comments? Mr. Duncan, have you ever been to Italy? Says Alesso. No, I haven't. I've never been to Italy ever in my life. Donny D, if one Chinese pay you $1 for lessons, you will be a billionaire. That's true. If every person living in China gave me one pound to teach English, I would be a billionaire. That's true. But of course, the problem is that in mainland China, I'm blocked. So, because China doesn't allow YouTube there, so sadly the people in China cannot watch my lessons or this live stream because YouTube is blocked in China. When you go outside, do you have to wear a mask against the smog? No. I live in the countryside. It's very clean and healthy here. Is the statue on the table from IKEA? You mean the little man over there? That little man. I got that from the internet. I bought that about 6 years ago. That little man over there. There he is. There, see him there? There he is. The little man. He's holding the world in his hands. Or her hands. So it could be a man or a lady. Or both. Do you party with us online? I don't know. Kai Najuin Li Tuan says, like the stream, mate. Thumbs up. It would be awesome to celebrate your birthday live. Yes, I could do that. Adriana Dominiquez. Hi, Adriana. I'm Mexican and I'm studying English, but it is very difficult for me to learn grammatic or to learn grammar. And the internet, I find a lot of examples, but they are very simple. Can you give me some advice? Here's a bit of advice, Adriana. You could watch videos on YouTube about certain subjects, maybe scientific or mathematical. And then you can listen to words that are slightly more complicated. So that might be a good bit of advice. Yes, watch academic videos. But really my advice would be to watch whatever you can. Watch all sorts of things. Watch movies, TV, Mr. Duncan's videos, of course. Claudia says it's raining cats and dogs. It's raining heavily. I'm not sure what the weather is doing here. Let's just have a look outside. Fortunately, it's not raining here, so that's good news. Claudia, thanks for that. Why does China block YouTube? I don't know. They just don't like YouTube. It's not my fault, honestly. It's not because of me. Definitely. I'm pretty sure of that. About 50% sure that it's not my fault. Li Nu says China blocks Facebook too. Yes, it does. I'm from Hungary. I do not see other people from my country. But you're here, and that's a good start. So hello to Hungary, and hello to Catalin. Lady Catherine, what do you think about Italy? I want you here. I love Italian food. So if I do come to see you, Lady Catherine, if I do go to Italy, I will insist on eating lots of Italian food. I'm getting a bit hungry now. Mr. Duncan, do you know Stephen Sakour? This man and you make British English sound so beautiful and lovely. Stephen Sakour, or Sakour, is a TV journalist. He appears on the news over here on the BBC, and he normally presents a program called Hard Talk, which he hosts. Normally he speaks to somebody like a politician or somebody very famous, and he asks them very difficult questions, very hard questions, direct questions. So yes, I do know Stephen Sakour. I don't know him personally though. Adriana says thanks. Mr. Duncan, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your charisma and charm. Shahid Hussein, Adriana should read more to know how grammar works with certain words or situations. Yes, of course, you can use reference books. That's a good point. Thank you, Shahid, for that. Yes, of course, you should read reference books. Just read books specifically about grammar. There are some good books around that discuss grammar. There is one that I used to have nearby that I used to show to some of my students when I was in China. I've had this particular book for a long time, but I can't find it now because I've moved it. But it's a little Oxford book of English grammar, and it gives you lots of examples of typical English grammar. So that's the name of the book. It's called the Oxford English Book of English Grammar. What is the easiest way to improve listening? Listening to American or British English? Well, listen to both. Listen to both. Get used to the sound of all sorts of English. Get used to listening to British English and American English. Son von Kabulen. Son von Kabulen. Happy birthday. My birthday is not until August. But thank you all the same. Thank you for that. We miss you a lot, Mr. Duncan, says Noor Zebat. We miss you a lot. A long time ago I didn't see some of your videos. It's really a pleasure watching you again with a live podcast. It's true. I'm live on the internet right now. You are watching me and it is live. It is 10 minutes to 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK. Papu does somebody farm rice in the countryside where you live? No, nobody grows rice here. In fact, I think it's rarely grown here in the UK at all. most rice is imported, mainly from India, and I think also rice is imported from India and maybe China. Maybe China. I might be wrong there. Mr. Duncan, can you make some videos about real English conversations? It's a good idea. Mr. Duncan, how many languages do you know? I speak some Chinese, Idiandian. I speak a little petit français, a little French. Please tell us about the British politics for refugees. That's a big subject, and it's not for today. Anna Najuan Koa. I could listen and, understand 80% of what I've heard from the conversation with foreigners. I open my mouth, but the words don't come out, even when I have a lot of idea in my mind. This is a normal problem with people learning English or any language. It's very easy to learn the language, but when it comes to speaking the language, it's a lot more difficult. And that's mainly due to confidence. That's the big problem, getting your confidence. This is why I want you to practice your English by listening to your own voice. Don't forget, record your voice, listen to how it sounds, get used to the sound of your own voice. And if you don't like it, change the things you don't like. Mr. Duncan, will you ever stop making videos? No, I will never stop making videos. Thank you, I love my son. Why does China block YouTube? I don't know why. They just don't like it. I hope you never stop making videos. I won't stop making videos. What do you think about the TV show on The Big Questions with Nikki Campbell? Do you watch that TV show? Yes, it's on a Sunday morning, although it's finished now. It stopped. The Big Questions. They normally talk about all sorts of subjects, quite often to do with religion and to do with sort of things in that area. But yes, The Big Questions with Nikki Campbell. That's a good show. I like watching debates. I like watching people express their opinions. That's one of the things about being free. Please spell my name, Maxim. Please spell my name. Oh, you here? Yes, I've forgotten all about this. If you want your name here at the bottom, I'm going to choose somebody at the end of my broadcast. At the very end, I'm going to put somebody's name here at the bottom. And whoever's name is here will also appear on the thumbnail of this video. So your name will be stored forever and ever and ever. So if you want your name here, please ask me to put it here, and I will choose somebody at the end and I will write it down and put it there. Spell my name, Maxim Knish from Zavarici. Maxim. Thank you, Maxim. What? Where are you? Because I thought you were in China. No, I'm not in China. I'm in England. Right now I am in England. This is where I live. My YouTube channel is called Duncan in China. But that's because I used to live in China. And I've been doing this now for 10 years nearly. Nearly 10 years I've been making my YouTube videos. So I started making videos on YouTube in 2006. Many years ago. And that's why this channel is called Duncan in China. But I can tell you now that I do live in England. I am living in the UK, as it were. Mr. Duncan, I always shadow everything you say in your videos. That helped me a lot to speak better English, says Joan Solar, or Solar. Thank you, Joan. Mr. Duncan, could you do a video while you are in the supermarket buying food? That's great. I would love to do a video. I would love to make a video whilst in the supermarket, but I think the security guard might come along and say, here, you can't film in here. You can't film in this supermarket. You're going to have to leave. I'm sorry. Yeah. But that's a good idea. Please, Mr. Duncan, can I have my name on your door? Says Lucy Lou. Maybe. We'll have to see. Leah Avilia. Mr. Duncan, could you do a video? Oh, I've just read that one. Please put my name on the door. My name is Alexei. Alexei wants. Okay, I'm going to write these down. I'm going to write these names down. So Lucy Lou. We have Lucy Lou. And who else? Alexei. Okay, I'm going to choose one name at the end. One name. And that will go on my door. And that will also be on the thumbnail for this video. So you will be famous forever and ever. Can you also... Oh, here we go. Can you also put the names on the door of Michelle, Sabrina and Josu? Okay, Michelle, Sabrina and Josu. Michelle, Sabrina and Josu. Okay. I can't say that it will be your names. I'm going to pick one at the end. Just one. Mohammed Kamara. Put my name, please. Mohammed Kamara. Mohammed Kamara. Okay, Mohammed, your name is written down. Please write name. Says Kai Najuan. Okay, I will just put Kai. Is that okay? K-H-A something. Okay, I. That's it. Your name is on the list. Abdullah Qasim also. Abdullah. Okay, Abdullah, you're going on the list. Abdullah. Abdullah. Right. Could you please read my question? Thanks a lot. Well, I will read your question. If I can see your question, I will definitely read it. Okay, we're up to date now. And I have now been doing this for 3 hours. So I think now it's time for me to say ta-ta. I know it's sad, but in a moment I will have to say goodbye, farewell, adieu to you and you and you. Mr. Duncan, can you give some explanations of wear my heart on my sleeve? To wear your heart on your sleeve means to show your emotions openly. If you show your emotions very openly, it means you wear your heart on your sleeve. You express your emotions, you show your inner emotions very easily. Some say that's a good thing, other people say it's a bad thing. China reminds me that you sing a Chinese song in front of many Chinese people. That's true. Chang Nam Li. I did sing on TV in China, and that video is on YouTube. Mr. Duncan sings a Chinese song. Adriana. Okay, add you to the list. Lucy Lou says no. I don't know what that means. I'm from Russia. I've been watching you for some years already. I'm Alexei. Thank you, Alexei. That's very kind of you to say so. This is Ahmed from Saudi Arabia. I always recommend to study from such YouTube channels and show broadcasts by teachers like you instead of going to study the language abroad. What do you think? Well, I hope that my YouTube videos are useful, but of course there are many ways of learning English. But I think that learning on the internet now is a very useful thing. So yes, I think you're right. But I still think that travelling abroad to pick up the environment of a language is also very important. So I think you can do both, really. The expression big time, is that typical American English or is it used in the UK? When we say something is big time, yes, we use it here as well. Big time means very much so. Very much so. It really, really very much big time. I'm learning English big time. I'm doing this big time. Very much, eagerly, lots of energy. In a very excited way. Just like me. Just. What does attaboy mean? Attaboy. Attaboy means there you go. That's it. That's right. Attaboy. Good for you. So it's an expression that means that you are pleased about something that another person has done. Well done. Attaboy. Hope that helps. Whew, I'm like a walking dictionary. Should I learn 3,000 common words, but I always forget the words I learned. Can you help me? If you want to learn words and keep them in your brain, you must use them. Thanks for sharing your time with us and make our Friday happier. We have had a good morning here in Colombia. We like you so much. We are looking forward to the next broadcast. I'm looking forward to the next one as well, next Friday. I'm from Kazakhstan. I like your videos. What is the better way to avoid thinking in my native language while I'm speaking in English? Any advice? It's very hard to do, but with practice you can think. Sorry, I knocked the mic then. You can think in one language and speak in another. This is how interpreters do their job. But with training and practice, you can actually do it. You can do it. You can split your brain down the middle and do the two things at the same time. But of course, it comes with practice. But first of all, you need to learn English. That might be the hardest part. And then learning how to use it afterwards. I think that's the order to do it in, definitely. Thanks a lot. Do you say at a girl too? No, we don't say at a girl. What are you going to do after the stream? Are you going to sleep? No, I'm going for a walk afterwards. It's not raining at the moment, so I'm going to go out for a little walk around. There's a little hill just over the way. I'm going to walk up there, and I'm going to stand there in the silence. And I'm going to just relax like that. So that's what I'm doing afterwards. And then I will come back and have a cup of tea. Ruby Thu says, I introduce your videos to students and they told me that they haven't found English boring anymore. Even started to love English. That's nice to know, Ruby, and a big hello to your students as well. What is a space elevator? A space elevator? I've heard of an elevator. An elevator is a lift that takes you up and down buildings, inside or outside. So, a space elevator. I'm not sure. It's interesting. But an elevator is like a lift. We say lift here in the UK. In British English, it's lift, and in American English, they tend to say elevator. Jones Solar. I personally never learn single words better to learn phrases that you can use right away. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You should learn vocabulary by phrases, whole sentences, not individual words. that will help you remember. That's good, yes. If you learn the words and then put them into sentences and then use the sentences, even if it's just to yourself, you will remember the words much easier. Shahid says, put my name on the list. Okay, Shahid. Somebody is going to be on my door in a moment. What is the most difficult video you've done to teach English? I think one of the most difficult videos to make was, well, really anything that I do outside. If I film outside, it's always difficult. So filming lessons outside, outdoors, it's always hard, always difficult. I'm from Malaysia, says Nurul Mohammed. I'm from Malaysia, Mr. Duncan. Hello, everyone. Hello, Malaysia. I've been to Malaysia many times. I've been to Kuala Lumpur and I've been to Penang, Palau Penang. Mr. Duncan, can you tell us a joke? A man goes into the doctor. He says, "Doctor, doctor, I feel like a pair of curtains." And the doctor says, "Pull yourself together." Mr. Duncan, can you tell us a joke? That was Nurek 755. What do you think about Theresa May? Theresa May is now the Prime Minister of the UK. She's the new Prime Minister. She became the leader of the country just a couple of days ago. Politics here in the UK has been very exciting. So many different things going on. It's crazy here. It's crazy. But yes, I like her clothes. She always wears lovely clothes, Theresa May. So there you go. Do you say "at a girl" too? No. I think I've already mentioned that. Put a name, please. Najuin Luong Nam. Najuin Long Nam. Okay, you're on the list. Somebody's name is going to go on here. You will see it when the thumbnail appears. Mr. Duncan, you are looking younger of your age. Do you eat some healthy food? I do not eat meat. I said earlier that I'm eating less meat than I used to. I've really changed the food that I eat. So yes, you're right. I have lost some weight and I have changed my diet. I eat very little meat now and I eat lots of healthy stuff. And of course I take lots of exercise as well. Mr. Duncan, you should make a daily vlog to teach English, like Dunktober. As I mentioned earlier, Dunktober nearly killed me because I had to make a video every day. That was way back in 2013. In October, I made a video every day and it nearly made me go crazy. Joe Sien says politics here in Brazil is so exciting too. Politics around the world at the moment is very exciting. Apple. Please call my name Apple. I will put you on my list as well if you want. Apple. I used to have a student in China called Apple. Put my name, please. Claudia. Claudia. Okay, Claudia. Claudia. Did you watch Friends series? Says Abdu Al Fatah. Did you watch the Friends series? Friends. That's an American TV show with lots of characters. There's Chandler. He's the funny one. He's so funny. There's Ross. He's the serious one. Then there's Joey. He wants to be an actor. Then there's Phoebe, who I like. I think Phoebe is my favourite. I like Phoebe. I think her character is very similar to mine, Phoebe. What will you do with the names? Mr. Duncan, what will you do, says Nurek. I'm going to put one name here. Do you see here behind me? I'm going to put one or maybe more names. I might put 2 or 3 on there for the thumbnail. So when this video goes on YouTube, there will be some names there behind me. But will it be your name? Will your name be there? Maybe not this time, but perhaps next time. Mr. Duncan, please take my name too. Okay. Najuk. I really must improve my Vietnamese. And Do. I'm sure it's very exciting watching me write things down. It's very exciting. Mr. Duncan, it's very exciting watching you write. I love my son. What does microphage mean, Mr. Duncan? I think it's a blood... it's something to do with blood. I'm sure it is. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a medical person, so I'm not sure. I like politics. I like politics. Even I am 10 years. Like your child. You are just 10, Lucy. Oh my goodness. I've been doing this for 10 years. For all of your life I've been doing this. That's very incredible. Good evening, Mr. Duncan, says Trung Najon Tran. Abdul Al Fatah says, I love Phoebe in Friends. How about Rachel? Rachel's alright. Yes, I'm not leaving Rachel out, don't worry. I know lots of people like Jennifer Aniston as well because she has lovely hair. Her hair is lovely, always lovely. It's a bit like my hair. My hair's lovely as well. Microphage is a type of blood cell, I told before. Okay, I'm not sure about blood. I don't like looking at it. I know that. Adiel from Mexico. Adiel, you are going on my list. So maybe your name will appear on the door behind me. Maybe not. Do you have plans for future lessons, or do you continue with Full English? Full English will be finishing after 25. Currently I am working on Full English 24, and then there will be Full English 25, and then that's it. I will be finishing the Full English and doing something else, but it will still be English. Mr. Duncan, what does the grass is always greener on the other side mean? It means something that somebody else has or another thing always looks better than the thing that you have. For example, my car is nice, but my neighbour's car is better. Things always are greener on the other side of the fence. Things always look better or seem better when somebody else has it or owns it or does it. It's my first time to see this programme, so may I know how many times do you do it? Well, this is the first time I've ever done it. This is the first one. I know it looks as if I've been doing this for years, but this is the first live streaming that I've ever done on YouTube. A proper lesson. But I have been making YouTube videos for 10 years, so my YouTube channel is very popular. I have nearly 500,000 subscribers now and nearly 64 million views. 64 million. That's incredible. Anzonic, you're going on the list. Your nickname, Anzonic. Perhaps you will be on my list on the door, or maybe not. So not everyone will be on the door, not everyone. But then you will always have a chance next week, because I will do it again next week. So maybe maybe not this week, but perhaps next week. Okay, right, here we go. Nurbek. Nurbek, could you please put your name on there? There you go, you're on the list. Yes, you may be there, you may not. It just depends. I used to watch a similar TV show from the UK, but I don't remember the name. I just remember the intro song. It said perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not sure. Right. Lucky me to turn on my laptop, and now I can watch your stream. Well, my stream will be finishing soon. I have been here for now, oh my gosh, 3 hours and 20 minutes I've been here. So I must disappear soon, or else I will fall asleep. Mr. Duncan, will you write my name on the list as well? Says Lucia. Lucia, okay. Don't forget, not all of the names will be on the list, only some of them. 2 or 3. But if you don't get your name on the list this week, there's always next week, because I will be here next Friday doing this all over again. It's true. Can you write down my name? Amri Wadi. Yes, okay, I will put that down on the list. Don't forget, we will do this next week. So if your name isn't on the list today, it might be on the list next week. So don't forget to tune in next week and find out if your name is there. Right, let's have a look at the chat, because there's lots going on here still. Mr. Duncan, how do you choose the names? I will choose them randomly. So some of the names I will use today, and some of them I will put there next week as well. So there will be some names there next week from the list. So not just today, but next week as well. Joan Solar says, great that you make those lessons for free. Even if you charge only $1, you would have a good running online business. That was the laughter. No, that was ha 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 on the message, not me. That wasn't me laughing. That was the message on the message. Okay. Yes, it's true. I teach for free on YouTube. All my videos are free to watch. You don't have to pay any money. I know your fascinating popularity, my teacher, and I'm one of the subscribers to your channel. I even watch your lessons every day, says Mohammed Kamara. Mohammed Kamara watches my videos every day. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sally Shahur or Sharur says, hi. Hi. Hi, Sally. Please write down my name. Okay, I will. Jiang. I will put Jiang. G-I-A-N-G. Jiang. Okay, I've got that. And also Lucas. Lucas, are you going on my list? I think so. Okay, Lucas. Okay, I will make a note of these names, and some of the names will appear on the thumbnail for this video, so it will be there. And also next week there will be some names there already, some different names from this list, just to prove that I'm really writing the list. There it is. Look, can you see? Look, all the names are on the list. There you are. You're all there. So some names will appear on the thumbnail, and some names will appear on next week's video. Right. Thank you for the video, says 12 Design. Thank you very much. Alsur Valulin. Hello, my name is Ilsur. Thanks a lot for your amazing videos and perfect accent. How many languages do you speak? Of course I speak English. I spoke some Chinese when I was living in China. Idiandian. Trung Najon Tran. Seem you forgot my name. I think let's put your name down now, Trung. Okay, here we go. Trung is your name. Trung. Trung Najon. Okay, you forgot my name, Mr. Duncan. Whew. Tran. Okay. There you go. Mr. Duncan, where did you get your glowing earth? Over there. Do you like my glowing planet? It's planet Earth. It's where we all live. Live in peace and happiness. Sometimes. Mr. Duncan, did you vote in or out in the Brexit? Oh, that's naughty. Says Chain Kong winner. Which day will you be doing the programme next? Next Friday, same time, same place. Mohammed Kamara. Which day will you be doing the programme next? This live stream next Friday, 1 o'clock UK time, just like today. Can you please speak it for me? What was your name again? I really don't know. Link Ink Sound. Can you please say it again? What was your name again? My name? My name is Mr. Duncan. Duncan is my name. Mr. Duncan, most people call me. That is my name. They call me Mr. Duncan. A-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-doo-doo. Ni hao. I speak Chinese too. Ni hao, ni hao. 我是 Duncan. Try to speak Chinese. I also learn Chinese too. Ask Mr. Lomax to choose the names, please. Choose ours. I will ask Mr. Lomax. He's in Hollywood at the moment. He's auditioning for a movie. Apparently he wants to appear in a new superhero movie. I don't know. I think he's a bit deluded. Ask Mr. Lomax to choose the names. Okay, I will. Choose ours, please. Michelle, Sabrina and Josu. And also Leah. Maybe. Thank you very much for your funny and useful video, says Hung Najuan. 3bod Syed asks, how old are you? What about the BBC TV show The Big Question? Yes, somebody's already asked me that. Yes, I used to watch it, but it's not on anymore. It's finished. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. I mean pronunciation, S and Y. I think C. Well, the pronunciation of S and Y can be C or Psi. So, yeah. Easy. See, S-Y, easy. But the pronunciation is almost like Z, easy. See? Have you heard of Pokemon Go, Mr. Duncan? Will you play it for us? Pokemon Go. I don't play computer games, but I've heard of Pokemon Go. This is where you can go into the real world and find Pokemon hidden all over the place. I think it's a bit like geotagging. Have you heard of geotagging? It's a bit like that, I think. Necessan Brat. I hope that's not rude. Togrul Hasanov asks me that question. Mr. Duncan, right near Facebook and YouTube link. I don't answer about Brexit or how old I am. Thanks. You mean what? You mean sort of here? Put the answer. You should put the answer here. So whether I voted to remain or leave Europe, I should put here. That's a good idea, but no, that's not going to happen. Mr. Lomax should be Super Monkey, says Kai Najuan. Sally Shahur. Sally Shahur. Why don't you put my name on your list? Okay, I'll put you on my list. Sally Okay, there you go. You're on the list now, Sally. Giang Najuan, I love to watch your videos from 2008 until now. Thank you, Giang Najuan, for watching my videos for all those years. My goodness, from 2008 until now. Of course, I've been making the videos since 2006. 2016 is my 10th year doing this. Can you believe it? Mohammed Amin, you are the best. Thank you. Sadly, Vietnamese can't play Pokemon Go yet. That's a shame. I have to go. See you later, Mr. Duncan. Chang Nam Lee is going. Bye, Chang Nam. Bye, Chang Nam. You can say How Sa Trong Sa. Oh, I see. Okay. Hung Najuan. All respect to Vietnam. Love you. Right, Mr. Duncan, Pokemon Go makes lazy people go out for a walk. That's a good idea. I like that. So people will go out walking around and they will be searching for their Pokemons. What's for your list? Oh, the list. The list here is for some names to go on here. So next week, some names will be on this list. Okay, so here, your name might be here on this list, okay? Right behind me. Why don't you put my name, its meaning? Son of Kabli. Son von Kablian. Oh yes, son von. Oh yes, son von. Son of. I like that. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up now because I've been on for 3.5 hours. And I think we should end it there. I will be back next week, don't worry. I will be here on your video screen or mobile device or TV set, depending on where you watch me. I will be back next Friday at 1 o'clock UK time. In the United Kingdom, it's 1 o'clock. It's around about 7 hours later in Asia, 7 hours later in Asia, and about 5-6 hours before in other parts of the world. So for some people it's the morning, and for others it's late at night, and for me it's afternoon. It's now 29 minutes past 4, and I think it's time for me to end this lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope this has been fun, and I will be with you next week, live as live can be. And just in case you missed it earlier, this thing is for catching spiders. It is a spider catcher. You can catch the spiders without killing them. Okay, that's all from me for today. I will see you very soon. Thanks a lot for watching me. If you have been watching me for the last 3.5 hours, or even just for the last 20 seconds, thanks a lot for watching me, talking to you, live across the world. This is Mr. Duncan in England saying, enjoy English, and you know what's coming next. What's coming next? Ta-ta for now. How does that song go again? A-dum de dum de dum, a-dum dum dum, a-dum dum dum, a-dum de dum de dum, dum dum dum, da-dum de dum de dum, dum 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 de dum de dum, dum dum, dum de dum de dum, dum 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 dum, dum de dum de dum dum, dum dum.